The leftover yeast from my cream ale is gonna make the perfect starter for this double IPA.
Alright. Well, I've been down so long.
A step that you don't necessarily have to do, but when you're using distilled water, it's gonna make your beer so much better. Adding brewing salts. Small hammer basket going in.
But my mind can't get no rest. No, no. This ain't easy, darling. 'Cause the devil's on my trail. I've been running so long.
Time for a gravity reading. I'm really liking this thing. It's pretty handy. I mean, literally just a couple drops. I'm at 10.25 bricks. I've really been kind of stoked on doing the 2 kettles here. I'm glad I have them. First of all, this grain bill is going to be ridiculously heavy. I don't have to lift the grain basket out. I'm just going to pump the wort over into here, and then after it's drained, then I get to lift out the basket, and it's much, much lighter. Easier to do it that way. If I clean as I go, then it makes for a pretty easy brew day. I just finished my mash. I'm letting my mash sit at 168 degrees for a quick mash out. I gotta go pick my son up, so let's go.
I've had enough, enough, yeah, I've had enough. Say you've had enough. We wanna love, love, but 'cause it's not enough. Say you've had enough. Yeah, I gave it time and you really tried, but you're sick and tired, baby. So
I found some pretty creative ways to kind of like break up my brew day so that I'm not always having to sit there for 4 hours or 3 or 4 hours and do my whole brew day in one shot. So right now, you know, I'm going to pick up my son. My kettle, my mash is sitting there at about 168 degrees for a quick mash out. It might be there for a little bit longer than 10 minutes, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, but I don't really think that's gonna hurt it too much.
yeah, I've had enough. Say you've had enough. We wanna love, love, but 'cause it's not enough.
That's what Cardi B going
Say you've had enough. Yeah, I gave it time and you really tried, but you're sick and tired, baby. So am I. I've had enough, enough. Yeah, I've had enough. Say you've had enough. I've had enough, enough. Say you've had enough. Yeah, yeah.
Alright, time to boil
I've
now.
had enough, enough. Say you've had enough. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
1 ounce of Lupo Max Chinook, 60 minutes. 1 ounce of Lupo Max Cascade going in at 45 minutes.
Enough, enough. Yeah, I've had enough. Say you've had enough.
The star of the show, Citra Incognito. 50.08% alpha acids. I'm not really sure how much to use of this. I'm going to call this double IPA the Double Dribble Dippa. Double dribble. Double dribble. The double dribblers are too loud out there. So the bottle, good lord. I'm doing 2.5 ounces of Galaxy, which is the rest of this bag, and I'm gonna do a double dribble of Citra Incognito. Looks like enough to me. I got my starter ready. So I literally just finished cleaning up. I know it's dark out already. It's been maybe 20 minutes. And it looks like it's already fermenting. Talk about fast fermentation, right? Jeez, this thing's gonna be done by tomorrow morning probably.
Blue, blue is my truck.
I didn't want to drink alone today, so cheers, Gnome.
Push and push and
This is a really good beer. I'm very happy with this beer. This is definitely my best double IPA that I've ever made. It's probably my best IPA that I've ever made. Wow, that is a good beer. That is sneaky good. It's dangerous because it is 8%. It has like that nice kind of piney, resinous IPA, like more of a West Coast IPA feel to it. It was done fermenting in 24 hours. I had to pitch my dry hop edition. I pitched it about 3 hours after I racked the beer onto the yeast cake because it was going so crazy. I didn't want to miss that high Kreuzen dry hop edition. It's got a nice aroma, but it is pretty clean. I think Lutra Kveik is like my new favorite clean fermenting ale yeast. Came out at 8% and it does not taste at all like 8%. You know, I brewed this double IPA so that it would have a little bit more alcohol and kind of warm you up on those cold evenings. But it's not very cold. But the nice thing is it's actually pretty refreshing as well too. I could totally have this in the summertime too. You just got to be careful with it because it does have more alcohol in it and it will sneak up on you. If you're looking for a double IPA recipe, I highly recommend doing this one. I think racking onto a yeast cake is definitely a good strategy as long as you do it right. Doing the cream ale first was perfect. It was almost 90% Pilsner malt, no dry hop additions, just a really clean fermenting ale. And definitely mind your sanitation. I know you get on Reddit and you see these things like, don't rack onto your yeast cake, you're just playing with fires. I've done it a few times. I've never had any issues. Just monitor your sanitation. Make sure you're being clean about everything. And I think you'll have no problem. I poured a little glass from my buddy Gnome here. If you want to go check out another YouTube channel, you got to go check out Gnome Brewing. I'm going to put a link to the description in the bottom. The guy has an awesome system. It's an awesome system and an even more awesome beard. It's very Gnome-like. Gnome, how do you like yours? Oh, do you need another sip? You're having trouble getting there? Goodbye, Gnome. Thank you for having a beer with me. It's been a pleasure. Cheers. That's good. That's good.